Well, personal documents from one of Hillary Clinton's closest confidants revealing an inside look into her political past. One of the files uncovered is this declassified 1992 campaign memo that warned, quote, what voters find slick in Bill Clinton, they will find ruthless in Hillary, end quote. So what else was revealed about the former First Lady, and how will that impact her potential run for the presidency? Writer from the Washington Free Beacon, Alana Goodman, joins us now with that. Good morning, Alana. You all broke this story. Let me just start by saying, why now are these documents being uncovered and finally being revealed?
Actually, that's a good question. When I went down to Arkansas a couple weeks ago, I honestly didn't expect to find too much in these archives because they had been opened in 2010 and had not been written about. So I assumed that, maybe people went down and they hadn't seen anything there. So I was actually pretty surprised to find what we did find.
Well, certainly speaking of, Blair's account of her conversation with Hillary Clinton, this is her good friend talking to her about Monica Lewinsky and the scandal that ensued in 1998. It said this, it was a lapse. But she says to his credit, he, speaking of Bill Clinton, tried to break it off, tried to pull away, tried to manage someone who's clearly narcissistic Looney Tune. It was beyond control. What was your reaction when you read that?
I was surprised. Carl Bernstein, in his biography of Hillary Clinton in 2008, actually reported on this conversation between Hillary and Diane. And he had an interview with Diane Blair, and she told him that that Hillary couldn't talk about Monica, but she knew that Diane was thinking about her, and that Hillary had to think through a lot of things, and she was going through a lot at that point. So I was surprised to read this account of the conversation where they did talk about Monica, and Hillary spoke about it pretty candidly.
Sure. Diane Blair's account also, there was a conversation with Hillary about the press. This goes back to 1993. It says, quote, Hillary says the press has big egos and no brains, and the White House is going to have to work them better, that her staff has figured it out and would be glad to teach Bill's staff, but there's still tension between them. What's your take on that?
Well, I think this is a recurrent theme that you kind of see, at least when I was going through the archive, this idea of these adversaries, these outside adversaries against the Clintons, and the press was a big part of that. I mean, the Clintons really saw all of the scandals of the White House years and even to the Arkansas years as kind of these media manufactured, almost like an opposition thing.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Alana, do you think, having found this and having it out right now, moving into 2016 with Hillary Clinton being a front runner potentially in the race for the presidency, will this affect her, this sort of ruthless paintbrush right now and picture of her? How relevant will these quotes be?
Well, I think this is a challenge that Hillary will face if she does decide to run in 2016, which is dealing with a lot of these things from the past. And I mean, one of the benefits of having such a long career in Washington is that she can point to that as experience, and that's a benefit for her if she runs. But the downside, obviously, is that the Clinton White House years, there were a lot of scandals there, and she's going to have to figure out a way to answer for those or to discuss them if she does decide to run in 2016.
Alana Goodman from the Washington Free Beacon, we want to thank you for bringing this out and certainly doing some digging there. Has everybody asking a lot of questions as we move into an election season. Thank you for joining us today.
You bet.
Is the Tea Party race